Ethan, an 8-year-old boy with a strong sense of justice, always believed in protecting his family. On what should have been the happiest day of his father David's life, Ethan made a decision that turned everything upside down. As David stood at the altar, ready to marry Emily, Ethan stepped forward to reveal a truth no one could have imagined, halting the wedding and changing their lives forever. The sunlight streamed through the stained glass windows of the small chapel, casting colorful patterns on the guests. David Matthews stood at the altar, his black tuxedo perfectly tailored, his face glowing with happiness. "You look great, Dad," whispered Ethan, fidgeting with the ring pillow in his small hands. Dressed in a miniature suit that matched his father's, Ethan looked the part of a perfect ring-bearer. But while David's face beamed with joy, Ethan's eyes betrayed his unease. "Thanks, buddy," David said, ruffling his son's curls. "You're the best." As the wedding march began, all eyes turned toward the chapel doors, except Ethan's. His gaze remained fixed on his father, his small hands gripping the pillow so tightly his knuckles turned white. The doors opened and Emily appeared, radiant in her white gown. Her golden hair cascaded over her shoulders and her blue eyes sparkled with emotion. David's face lit up with adoration. "You look stunning," he whispered as she reached the altar. Emily smiled softly. "I can't wait to begin our life together." The officiant began the ceremony, but Ethan's heart pounded in his chest. He shifted nervously, glancing between his father and Emily. To an observer, it might have seemed like childish restlessness, but Ethan carried a heavy burden. Months earlier, David had introduced Ethan to Emily. "I've got someone special I want you to meet, buddy," David had said, his voice brimming with excitement. When they arrived home, Emily stood waiting on the porch, her smile warm and inviting. "Ethan, this is Emily," David said proudly. "She's become very important to me. I hope she'll be important to you too." Emily knelt to Ethan's level, her blue eyes sparkling. "It's so nice to meet you, Ethan," she said. For a moment, Ethan felt hopeful, but as weeks passed, that hope began to fade. Ethan noticed Emily wasn't the same person when David wasn't around. The warmth disappeared, replaced by coldness. One night, while David worked late, Ethan tried to start a conversation over dinner. "Miss Emily," he said hesitantly, "do you like space? We're learning about the solar system." "Ethan," Emily interrupted sharply, not looking up from her phone. "I'm busy. Eat quietly, please." Her tone was icy, and Ethan shrank back in his chair. Yet when David was home, Emily transformed. She laughed at Ethan's jokes and showered him with affection, but her smiles felt false. Ethan's suspicions deepened when he overheard a phone call. Emily's voice, usually sweet, was cold and calculating. "He has no idea. Soon it'll all be mine." Ethan didn't fully understand her words, but he knew something was wrong. As the wedding approached, his anxiety grew. He couldn't let his father marry someone hiding dark secrets. Now, standing in the chapel, Ethan's heart raced. The officiant's voice droned on, but Ethan could no longer stay silent. "Stop!" Ethan's voice rang out, silencing the room. All eyes turned to him, including David's shocked gaze. "What is it, Ethan?" David asked gently. Ethan's small frame trembled, but he stood firm. "She's lying, Dad. She's not who you think she is." Gasps rippled through the crowd as Ethan revealed what he had overheard and witnessed. Emily's face paled as her carefully crafted facade crumbled. David stared at her, his expression shifting from confusion to realization. "Is this true, Emily?" Emily opened her mouth, but no words came. The silence confirmed everything. Ethan's courage not only stopped the wedding, but also saved his father from a devastating future. Though the revelation shook their lives, it brought David and Ethan closer, reminding them of the strength they shared as a family.